In this video, I'm going to break down step by step exactly how I was able to create this transformation over the course of the last 6 months while eating 3,000 calories, getting in 10 to 12K steps per day, working out only 4 times per week, and eating out a minimum of twice per week. Now, I know this might sound crazy. Eating 3,000 calories? Yes. It's even wild for me to say this now because just a few years ago, I used to think that I had to eat really low amount of calories to stay lean and to avoid putting on more body fat. But fast forward, here I am today, eating 3,000 calories, which is double that amount. And this is by far the best I've ever looked. This is the best in terms of body recomposition that I've ever looked at this body weight. If you're watching this video, it is very likely that you're currently trying to create a body recomp of your own, aka you want to shed off body fats and build muscle at the same time. Maybe you have more body fats than you would like. Maybe you want to fit better in your clothes. Maybe you want better shape and structure to your body. We got you. In this video, we're going to break it all down for you and how you can create a transformation like this of your own. Let's dive right into it. First things first, how to create a body recomp. We need to understand two main concepts. Concept number one is understanding energy balance. Now, you've probably heard of calories in versus calories out. Like that is the most basic fitness information that is thrown around all over social media, which is technically true. But here's something that a lot of coaches and influencers and fitness people don't actually talk about. And that is there are more variables that come into play than just calories in versus calories out. With this picture that you see on the screen right here, this is one of my favorite pictures that gives you a understanding of the different variables that come into play. On the picture on the left, you see food intake, right? That is the foods that you eat, the calories that you consume. Food doesn't make you fat, but it's when you eat an excess amount of calories where your body stores it as stored energy and extra energy. However, picture on the right, notice how there are three different variables that come into play: physical activity, RMR, and also TEF. What even are those things? Obviously, you know what physical activity is. That is you working out, you moving, you burning calories. But what is RMR? What is TEF? I got you. RMR stands for your resting metabolic rate. Fun fact, your body burns calories with you just resting. You watching this video right now, you breathing, you just being alive requires your body to burn calories. It requires energy to function. Also, hey, the more muscle you have on your frame, the more calories your body's going to burn, which is why those bodybuilders, they need to be eating a lot more calories than a normal human being. What is TEF? TEF is thermic effect of food. Again, fun fact, your body actually burns calories eating and digesting food. Your body's going to burn way more calories eating a salad as opposed to eating something like a cheeseburger. Because again, all of your bodily functions, I don't even know if bodily is a word, but all of the functions in your body requires your body to burn energy. Now, with that in mind, right off the bat, you can tell that, hey, you can go ahead and increase your metabolism without having to just drop your calories like crazy. Just like I said earlier, I used to think that I had to eat really low amount of calories. Yes, it helps you stay in a calorie deficit, right? Without having you put on more body fats. But also we have to understand that by eating really low amount of calories, you are literally living life on low battery mode. What I'm about to teach you today is going to be a lot different than maybe what you've been doing or what you've learned so far. Instead of you just eating less calories, burning yourself to the ground, we're going to teach you how to do this in a way where you don't have to be living on low battery mode. So again, right here, RMR stands for resting metabolic rate. The more muscle you have on your frame, again, your body burns more calories, right? The better sleep you have, and the less stress you have. Also, it increases your RMR. TEF, thermic effective food, eating higher protein, eating more fiber, eating more whole foods, eating more foods with volume, it's going to increase your TEF. Physical activity, this includes workouts, cardio, steps. It'll help you increase your physical activity. Second thing we have to understand is how gains are made. So you know how I just mentioned the more muscle you have on your frame, the more calories your body burns by default? How do we even make that happen? Well, this graph right here, let me just zoom in so you can see. It's a little bit blurry, but I hope you guys can read this. How gains are made. Most people think that, hey, let me just work out really, really hard, and that's how I'm gonna build muscle, which is true to a certain extent. However, in order for you to get results, three things must happen. Number one, you have to induce the stress, which is your workouts, right? Most people get that right. But step number two, you need to be able to recover from that stress before you're able to make gains. Step number one is induce stress. Step number two is recover from that stress. And step number three, that's when you're able to make that adaptation, which is you being able to see the fruits of your labor, getting stronger, building more muscle, bettering your performance at the gym. Most people just run their bodies to the ground and aren't able to recover from that stress, causing them to not see the fruits of their labor, and eventually causing themselves to burn out and not actually getting to their end result. So remember, stress is important, but also recovery is important as well in order for you to make gains. Now that you guys have an understanding of energy balance and how gains are made, let's dive right into the process. This is the exact process that I followed over the course of the last 6 months to go ahead and create this transformation. Let's get right into it. First things first is performance at the gym. This was my number one priority over the course of the last 6 months. Instead of just, hey, let me just eat low amount of calories. No, we didn't do that. Everything that we did revolved around performance at the gym. Why? Because the more muscle you have on your frame, hey, the faster your metabolism is, and also the more calories your body burns by default. How we did this and what prioritizing my performance at the gym meant, it meant, hey, prioritizing compound exercises. Exercises like squats, bench, deadlift, rows, overhead press. These exercises utilizes multiple muscle groups as opposed to an isolation exercise where and you're only using one muscle group. So a bench press as opposed to just doing a chest fly, right? Bench press, you're working chest, shoulders, and triceps, as opposed to a chest fly where you're only working your chest. You're going to be able to lift more weight, build more muscle, build better strength, and also burn more calories by doing so. Secondly, we prioritize progressive overload. You probably heard this term thrown around a ton, but what exactly does that mean? That means simply doing more over time. The progression that I followed to help me make as much gains as possible was giving myself rep ranges for my exercises. Instead of just doing 3 sets of 10, I gave myself rep ranges. So with all of my exercises, my rep ranges, it depends month to month and how my program's designed by my coach. But these are the rep ranges that I followed. 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. Again, this varies depending on the time of the year and where I'm currently at in terms of my goals of wanting to dunk. But I highly recommend having a good variety of these rep ranges. The rep ranges doesn't really matter, but what really matters here is how I went about the progression. Notice how there's a 4-week progression here. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and we have the RR for that week. RR basically stands for reps in reserve. So 3 to 4 RR for week 1. That means at the end of my set, I should feel like I can do 3 to 4 more reps left in the tank. So it should be pretty easy. And then 2 to 3 RR, that basically stands for, hey, at the end of that set, I should be able to do 2 to 3 more reps left in the tank. Same goes for 1 to 2 and 0 to 1. 0 to 1 basically means I'm going to pretty much failure. What I would do is week 1, I would pick a weight to help me hit the low end of the rep range. So for example, if I had 5 to 10 reps of the bench press, I would pick a weight where I can do 5 reps. And at the end of that set of 5 reps, I should feel like I can do 3 to 4 more reps left in the tank. And then week 2, I would go ahead and use that same weight and do however many reps until I get to 2 to 3 RR. Until I complete all my sets at the high end of the rep range, which is 10 reps, then I would increase the weight and then just repeat this cycle. Notice how I'm able to make progress every single week. Whether that is more reps, whether that is more weight on the bar. Because if you were to just simply just push to failure every single session, yes, you might see some progress at first, but then how are you supposed to continuously make progress throughout the weeks? It is really hard to add weight to the bar every single week for 52 weeks straight. If you were to add just a 2.5 on each side, which is the smallest plate at the gym, right? 2.5 on the bar each side. Fun fact, that means you're supposed to be adding like 260 pounds to every single lift that you do every single year, which is not going to happen for most people. Also, with the RR, with using this strategy right here, notice how not every workout is to failure. If anything, 2 out of the 4 weeks out of the month, I'm pushing a failure. But the other 2 weeks, hey, we're keeping it pretty conservative. This allows my body to recover and also continuously make progress. I'm not saying that the 3 to 4 and 2 to 3 weeks are like super easy, right? You can still get a good workout without going to failure. By prioritizing slowing down your exercises, by prioritizing getting full range of motion, right? Prioritizing your technique. And also with you doing more reps over time, your body is going to reap the rewards of that. So number 1 priority is performance at the gym, because this is what's going to help me induce the stress needed, right, for my body to have to recover from that, aka increasing my metabolism. Second thing that I focus on is my calorie target, eating majority whole foods. My estimated maintenance is at 3,000 calories. Now, it might sound super high because it's like, yeah, that is a lot of food. Yes, that is a lot of food. But at the same time, we have to understand again, your body needs energy. It needs calories to function on a day-to-day basis. And with me having pretty high activity, right, and my body requires a good amount of food. But by eating my maintenance calories, I'm not gaining any weight. I'm not losing any weight. If anything, I'm going to see my body shed more body fat because of the increase of muscle. Step number 3 is walking 10 to 12K steps daily. This helps me burn extra calories and increase my metabolism, and also helps with recovery as well. And lastly, number 4 is recovery. I can't stress this enough. You can be working out and busting your ass every single day in the gym, but if you're getting really bad sleep, if you're barely recovering, then you're only digging yourself to the ground day in and day out, week in and week out, and eventually you're going to find yourself burning out, and that is not a fun time. In terms of recovery, I legit get a minimum of 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. Think about it like this. Your body is literally a machine. You can't just expect to just go nonstop 24/7, 10,000 miles per hour. It needs recovery. So this way, you're able to come back the following day and give it your all again. Just like charging your phone. You need to charge your phone if you want it to work the following day. Next up, what should you do? Now that you know what I did, how can you implement this for yourself? There are 2 scenarios that you can fall into. Scenario number 1 is you've been on a cut and you've been eating really low amount of calories. Maybe that is like 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 calories. But you know that you're pushing it a little bit. Hungry, cravings are high, energy levels are low. Sleep is probably pretty poor. Overall, like it just doesn't feel too good. Or scenario number two is, hey, you haven't been on a consistent diet. Maybe you're just starting out. Maybe you've been going at your fitness journey, but you haven't really cared too much or paid too much attention to your nutrition. Those are the two scenarios that you might fall into. Let's get right into both of these. Regardless of which scenario you're in, first off, you need to find your estimated maintenance calories. How do you find your maintenance? Simply multiply your body weight by pounds by one of these three numbers: 14, 15, or 16. 14, if you live a sedentary lifestyle, let's say that you work in front of a computer all day, not really moving too much, you drive home, so you're not really getting too many steps per day. Multiply your body weight by 14. 15, if you're somewhat active, let's say that you do work in front of a computer, but you commute to work by walking, run errands, maybe go to the gym too. I would say you're somewhat active. And then 16, if you're very active. Let's say you work on your feet, maybe you work retail, maybe you play sports, maybe you're constantly working around the house, then I would say you are very active. The number that you get might seem pretty high at first, but don't you worry because it is just your estimated maintenance, and we'll be using that as a guide for the following steps. So once you got your estimated maintenance, let's go ahead and dive right into the scenarios. Scenario number one is if you've been on a cut for some time already and you're eating pretty low amount of calories. What we're going to do is we're going to start you on a reverse diet. What is a reverse diet? It is the exact opposite of what a calorie deficit is. So instead of lowering your calories, we're going to be increasing your calories. But yo, Dan, I'm trying to lose body fat. Why are you telling me to eat more food? Great question. I want you to treat your fitness journey like you trying to go on a cross-country road trip, specifically your fat loss journey. Let's say you're trying to go from New York City to Los Angeles. Obviously, the further you go, you're eventually going to run out of gas. The same goes with your body, especially if you've been going on your cut for some time. And when I say for some time, more than 16 to 20 weeks, it is very likely that your body and your metabolism has adjusted to the lower amount of calories. With us increasing your calories, that is basically you stopping at the next gas station to refill back up on gas. Now, if we were to just have you eat your maintenance calories right off the bat, then yes, you're definitely going to gain weight because you're eating so much more than what you've been used to, right? But how we're going to go about this is by being strategic about this and doing this slowly. This way, it sends that signal to your body to use this as fuel rather than just storing it as extra energy. Step number one, start by eating your current calories for 1 week to gather data. Again, I'm not sure how consistent you've been with the lower calories on your cuts. I'm not sure how consistent you are with tracking your data, but just go ahead and give it a week. Tracking your calories, making sure you're actually at that current amount, and also your body weight. This way we have data to go about the next couple of weeks. Step number two, after a week of collecting data, go ahead and add 100 calories to your previous week. So if you were eating like 1,200, let's go ahead and bump that to 1,300. Go ahead and eat that amount for the next 1 to 2 weeks. Step number three, once your body weight stabilizes, when I say stabilizes, hey, body weight might spike up a little bit, which is completely fine, right? It might even come down a little bit because you might be able to recover a little bit more. It might even stabilize. Go ahead and eat that same amount until you see that number on the scale stay the same. Then add an extra 100 calories. Step number four, repeat that until you reach your estimated maintenance calories and your body weight maintains itself. This might take you a couple of weeks. This might even take a few months, which is all good. This process in itself is going to take some time because your body has to readjust, right? Your body has to relearn how to use and allocate these extra calories, these extra nutrients to go ahead and actually make the most of it. So that is scenario number one. Scenario number two, maybe you haven't really paid too much attention to your nutrition, haven't really tracked anything, haven't really been consistent with the diets, step number one, I want you to start by eating your estimated maintenance. Go ahead and track your body weight daily for a week to see how your body responds to it, to see if it's a true maintenance. After a week, step two, if your body weight goes up, then go ahead and drop your estimated calories by 250. If your body weight stays the same or goes down, stay at the estimated maintenance calories. Step number three, once you see that your body weight has stabilized, continue to eat at your maintenance calories. That's how you know you found your maintenance. And lastly, step number four, once you found your true maintenance calories, go ahead and focus and prioritize increasing your TEF, which is your thermic effect of food. How do you do that? Let's aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, 10 to 15 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories. So if you're eating like 2,000 calories, which is your maintenance, then hey, let's try to get in at least 20 to 30 grams of fiber. 80% of your calories coming from whole foods. Again, the foods that you eat matters because your body digests it differently. And it takes a lot more calories and energy to digest whole foods than it would with just simple calories and calories that come from your fast food, just empty calories. And lastly, try to aim for 2 to 3 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. This is also going to add to your fiber. This is also going to give you more micronutrients and take longer for your body to digest. So those are the 2 scenarios that you're going to fall into when wanting to start a body recomp. Depending on which starting point you're at, go ahead and follow through with it. And last but not least, hold on, let me move myself here. And last but not least is, how do you guarantee results? Now that you know what to do, what the process looks like, how do you guarantee results? And how do you set yourself up to see really good results? First things first, start tracking all of your data. Progress pictures, tracking your calories, tracking your workouts, tracking your steps, tracking your sleep. The more that you track, the better. This way, you actually know if you're making progress. A body recomp, you're not going to really see much changes on a day-to-day basis, but when you compare your progress on a week-to-week and a month-to-month basis, that is where you see all of the progress. Again, your body is going to take some time to readjust, which is okay. Building muscle and shedding body fat, it doesn't happen overnight, but it happens through a compound effect. Day in and day out, week in and week out, those small little efforts, it compounds over time. Also, focus on consistent habits. I don't expect you to be 100% perfect. I can't even speak today. I don't expect you to be 100% perfect. I'm not even 100% perfect. Like the transformation that I made, I would say I was like 80, 85% perfect all the time. Aim for 80 to 90% consistency because this journey comes down to 2 things. What you do majority of the time out of the 365-day calendar. And secondly, how quickly you're able to pick yourself back up every single time you have a slip up. If you're not on point with these habits for more than half of the 365-day calendar, then your body is going to reflect it. And vice versa. If you're on point 80, 85, 90% of the time, your body is 100% going to reflect it. And lastly, give it time. You're not going to see these changes probably within the first few weeks, but over the course of 3 to 6 months, that's really where you're going to see the biggest change. Like with this picture right here, I didn't even notice any of these changes until like 3-4 months into the body recomp. And now here I am 6 months later, I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, like I got abs just popping without even having a flex. That is a flex in itself. Eating 3,000 calories. Hey, this can happen for you as well. As long as you get really good with the fine-tuned details. Like this isn't rocket science, right? Everything that you learned in this video with the process, prioritizing your performance at the gym, hitting your calorie target consistently, eating majority whole foods, getting in 10 to 12K steps, and sleeping 7 to 8 hours every single night. Like, this ain't difficult. This isn't anything magical or anything. These are basic habits that you can follow on a day-to-day basis. But it's that consistency over time and you getting really good at these small fine-tuned details. That's what's going to compound over time. I hope that this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions regarding any of this. And hey, if you want some extra help, some more one-on-one guidance in actually implementing this and having this entire process drawn out right in front of you, mapped out right in front of you. This is exactly what we specialize in inside of our program at Transcendent Phenoms. Like, everything that you learned today is actually what we focus on within phase number 1 inside of Transcendent Phenoms, helping you lay that foundation with your daily habits. This way, you're set up for success. Whether, hey, you want to shed more body fat, maybe you want to build more muscle, maybe you want to better your relationship with food. If that is something you're interested in, or something that you want some more help with, go ahead and just simply DM me on Instagram. We'll have a conversation. We'll see how we can best help you and help you reach your goals. Any questions, let me know. Go ahead and start implementing this ASAP.